when I pass away, I want you to sing, "It is well with my soul," and Mark to preach on whatever God lays on his heart.
Well, hey, Terry wants to say a word too. Terry?
Who? That's what I want to know. Who's that?
Terry English, Luther's boy.
Yeah, let Terry.
He told me that you were the most precious woman in his life. Said that you had a pure, you had a person that had a pure
about
heart.
Ron Means. See, she wants Ron Means.
Well, I love Terry.
He just say a few words.
Hey, Mawmaw, do you remember when I asked you about had God called me to preach? How do you know if somebody's called you to preach?
How do you know when God calls somebody to preach?
No, remember when I asked that? I asked you the question when I was young.
I just said, you'll know.
But you knew.
You will know.
Yeah.
But Ernest always said, you will know. There's no way that you won't know that God done it. That it was God. And God called him. And him were not much education. But God don't call education. He calls a willing heart. That's what Brother Spence told Arnie. Said, God don't call education.
But Daddy studied a lot.
Oh, he studied. He read books. He had books. Brother Spence told him good books to read. And he read. Every time he sat down, he'd have a book reading it.
What did he say about his shoes?
Huh?
What did Brother Spence tell Daddy about his shoes?
About what?
His shoes.
I don't know.
You don't remember what?
Oh, he said, always shine your shoes. He said, you may not have nice clothes, but you can always buy a box of shoe polish. Keep your shoes shine. And he always did. He always had nice shoes.
He always had shiny shoes.
He used to like him wing tips. You remember wing tips and wing tip shoes?
No, but he always had nice looking shoes.
He liked his shoes now.
I wonder what she wanted to tell everybody. If at her funeral, if she wanted to say something to them, what would she say?
What would you want to tell people? If you could talk to them, what would you tell them?
About Jesus?
Yeah.
At her funeral.
It's your funeral. If you could tell them something at your funeral, what would you tell them?
Just live for Jesus. You can't go wrong living for Jesus. Always live for Jesus. Witness for him when you get a chance. I had a good chance the other day to witness for somebody about the Lord. I'm so sleepy, I wish y'all would turn off the spotlight.
Let's do it. I won't turn it off, Mark.
Yeah.
We're good.
Hurry up and turn off the spotlights.
You ready? All right.
Well, we're going to go.